I'm in a city that is truly dazzling. Its soaring, modern skyline is surrounded by nature in spectacular ways. And one of the joys of the city is seeing it from the epic perspective that nature creates. But even the city's vertical and natural immenseness creates mysteries and subtleties tucked away in corners just waiting to be found. And for those who truly love to wander, you will never be at a loss. An ultra-modern city still wonderfully stuck in its old ways. I'm in Hong Kong, China. I'm Samantha Brown, and I've traveled all over this world. And I'm always looking to find the destinations, the experiences, and most importantly, the people who make us feel like we're really a part of a place. That's why I have a love of travel and why these are my places to love. When you first arrive at a city that you've read about your entire life, maybe dreamt of going to your entire life, there's a bit of a reality check because the city no longer lives just in your imagination. It's a real city with real people and buildings and traffic. When you arrive in Hong Kong, though, it's the reality of the city and your imagination because there's an energy here that you've always dreamt that it would have, and this energy picks you up and never lets you go. And the best thing you can do is just let the city take you where it wants to go. What used to be the location for the Police Married Quarters, or PMQ, an old government building that once housed married junior police officers, in no way represents the creativity happening inside. It has become a hub of designers and makers from all across the artistic spectrum, but mostly with an emphasis on Hong Kong's own unique heritage.
Are you from Hong Kong?
Yes.
So the city itself inspires you?
Yes. I use the Hong Kong, the local culture and the traditional, the items to make our jewelry. We use our Hong Kong, the Victoria Harbour View, the skyline, to make this collection.
I love how you've created the skyline within earrings and on rings here.
Yes.
And this is from the dress.
It's a chipu.
Chipu.
Yes.
And so are you using actual fabric from a chipu?
Yes. Inside the jewelry.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Because jewelry is passed down to us, right? We get our grandmother's rings.
Oh, yes.
We get our aunt's necklaces.
Yes.
And so you put a little piece of Hong Kong in there. And now you can have that forever.
Yes. So not just the jewelry, this is the deluxe souvenir.
The souvenir that lasts.
Yes.
I was eyeing your pearl necklace.
This one, we have the two-way, like this one is the long one.
Oh, let me see.
Right here. Mm-hmm. Yes, for the long one.
And then what is this right here?
This one is the Star
That's
Fairy.
The Star Fairy.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And other side is the Hong Kong, the Victoria Harbour View.
Oh, so this is your latest piece?
Yes.
Oh, good job.
Reluctantly, I managed to drag myself away from the jewelry, and just a few steps away, I found a beautiful little ceramic shop, and there I met one of the founders, Heidi Choi.
So you're one of the owners of the shop.
Oh, yes.
And there's one artist who creates all this beautiful work.
Yes, yes.
And what is the aim of her work?
Well, we try to have a tableware. Not only that it's beautiful to your eyes and it's functional, we have a lot of design on the lotus root and a lot of design maybe on the flower and on the lotus leaf. But our artists think that the reason why we can see the beautiful flower is the lotus root humbly down in the pond and take the nutrients up to the flower. So it's like a thank you to our parents.
Oh,
it's so lovely, right?
It's the root of love, right? Our parents. So the lotus represents that.
Yes, yes.
I love pottery, and one of the reasons why I love it is it's made by hand.
Yes.
And I feel like when you touch the pottery, you touch someone's work.
Yes.
And
yes.
so I love how these plates. This has the lotus on it.
Yes.
This has a little broccoli.
Oh yes. This we call the footprint. So we actually print the food on our plate. Like this is garlic.
Garlic, okay.
And this is our favorite dishes.
Chicken wings?
Oh yes, chicken wings. We have millions of recipes how to cook chicken wings.
Okay.
Like deep fry or stir fry, a lot. And we love chicken wings.
And it's so different from a lot of what you see in terms of shopping in Hong Kong.
Yes, yes.
Which is high-end stores on an international scale that you can see in any city, really, these days.
Yes.
This is something very unique.
of the more established and popular shops in the PMQ is Goods of Desire, a shop that totally celebrates Hong Kong heritage, but with fun and irreverence. Douglas Young is the creator and head designer of the design goods shop.
How long have you been designing goods?
Actually, it seems like yesterday, but I started the company more than 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
And what was your mission to start the company?
Well, I just got fed up because Hong Kong is such a special place, and why doesn't more people outside of Hong Kong understand us and get our culture and appreciate what we do? And I guess we just desperately need a brand that's from Hong Kong, that is inspired by Hong Kong, and that's showing the rest of the world how Hong Kong can be cool.
I was going through some of your t-shirts, Douglas, and I feel like you need to be in on a joke.
Okay.
So take me through the joke.
Right.
Honky.
And, honky, that's me. Honky, that's what we call ourselves. It's not an official title, but
Really?
when I go overseas, I say I'm a honky.
I'm a honky, okay.
You must have heard. If you've been to the markets of Hong Kong, if people drop eggs on the floor, they go, dropped. Or you lose a game of mahjong, I lost. So, it's kind of like an exclamation.
Obviously, there are huge cultural differences between Hong Kong and the rest of mainland China. What are some of the more subtle ones that someone like me wouldn't pick up?
I think the traditional mainland Chinese culture is so much more highbrow and conventional because theirs is a tradition that's like thousands of years old, whereas Hong Kong was a fishing village about 100 years ago.
Is that right?
So we're not as kind of grand.
Yeah.
That Douglas runs one of Hong Kong's most successful design shops celebrating all things Hong Kong isn't the only reason why I'm here.
When do we gossip?
When do we not gossip? Actually, not a lot of people know this, but I'm the author of a book called You Too Can Mahjong. The word mahjong means literally a sparrow, would you believe? You know the bird, sparrow? And they tend to pick up their food from the ground just with their beaks, right? So when you play mahjong, you're always fishing for the tiles that are open in front of you, like as if your hands are like the sparrow's beak, picking the tiles up. You see how quick they are? Look.
Yes, and they have all their fingers working.
I think everybody in Hong Kong plays mahjong, actually. At the age of 4, we learned to play mahjong from our mothers. You see how they all stick together? You can start by just arranging your tiles
I'm
so
arranging
that they
my
are
tiles.
according to the suits.
Okay.
Yeah, the circles together and the numbers together.
Circles together. So I'm just arranging patterns.
The moment you've successfully collected a winning hand,
Yeah.
you mahjong by going like that to show people, then we will have to pay you.
Nice. Oh, I'm getting mahjong.
Yes! You actually have a very good hand.
Well, what did you expect?
First time lucky. What do you expect?
So even though mahjong is you play it seriously, everyone still has fun within it.
I think so, yeah. Although it can get really tense.
Yeah. Families have been separated because of a bad mahjong game.
Not quite. I think mahjong is very important for the society of Hong Kong, for our communities, because so much news and gossip takes place on the mahjong table. When you're relaxed, when you're having fun, and when you're just facing each other for hours, then news and business inevitably takes place. You live in Hong Kong, you live in a high-rise apartment, you're close to each other. You just hear the mahjong sounds echoing off the buildings.
Hong Kong has a very unique history. It is in the country of China, but was a British colony until 1997. They traditionally speak Cantonese here, not Mandarin like in mainland China. It's a world financial hub, but has its own currency, the Hong Kong dollar, and unlike visiting mainland China, does not require a visa from its visitors. This morning, I'm in one of Hong Kong's oldest neighborhoods, Sham Shui Po. One of the most densely populated parts of the city is where I found one of its best-kept secrets.
How many different types of tofu products do you make?
I think we have over 20 types of tofu products in our shop.
So I recognize this one, like tofu squares.
Yeah, it's tofu puff, yeah,
And then what's that one? That looks fantastic.
This one is for Chinese hot pot.
Okay.
You just put it into the soup for 3 seconds and
and
it's tasty. I'm Renee So. I'm the 5th generation owner running this tofu shop in Sam Shui Po neighborhood in Hong Kong. Our shop has been running for more than 60 years.
And all of these products come from one tofu recipe?
Yes, all comes from soya bean.
So how old is the recipe here?
Over 100 years.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And do you make fresh tofu every single day?
Every 2 hours. Our kitchen operates 18 hours a day.
Oh my gosh.
360 days
Wow.
a year.
Time to make the tofu.
This easily overlooked neighborhood is where you can still find traditional Hong Kong tucked into its nooks and crannies. And Renee's little family nook is known for its century-old tofu recipe that begins with soaked soybeans getting liquefied by a stone grinder that's been in operation for 50 years. Once the fiber has been filtered away, it gets boiled in giant copper woks, and then gets filtered again in a cotton bag by hand. Then it's firmed up by adding gypsum powder. Once it goes into these wooden boxes and the excess liquid is pressed out, the tofu is ready, and it's used to make a huge variety of specialties, including what is considered to be the city's best version of this.
Fresh tofu pudding.
This is what you're known for.
Yes.
How do you order it? Like, is this? Can you order it with different condiments?
Usually we put the cane sugar on top. Yes.
Just dig in.
Yes. Can you try?
This is just comfort food. So lovely.
It's very simple but healthy food.
So this is a sort of a Hong Kong style tofu pudding?
In Hong Kong, people prefer eating the tofu pudding with sugar, but people from Shanghai, they like to put soy sauce.
As a dessert?
Yes.
Do you get all types coming in here?
Yes, we have all types of people coming to our shop. I think they come here not just for the pudding itself, they come here for their childhood, history, and they also want to have a look of the old Hong Kong as well and teach the next generation about the history. And also they want to try the tofu pudding. So I try my best to keep the business running because I really want more people to know about the history of Hong Kong and also can have a taste of it, not just seeing the pictures in the museums. But in the tofu, you can taste the old Hong Kong.
This is what people want to come and see, how people really live, how people go about their daily lives.
I always hope more people in Hong Kong can keep the old traditional food business keep running because it also represents Hong Kong. So if more people can keep running the old business, I think it will make our society more diverse.
In the nearby Prince Edward district, I met up with a local who introduced me to a very different Hong Kong tradition by taking me to Yuan Po Gardens, which you could say is for the birds.
So are the men selling the birds or are they pets?
They're pet. Okay, they're hanging the birds in the iron bar, and they enjoy. They're watching it. They're listening to the golden voice.
Yes?
Yes.
So they bring their own birds here, their own pets, so they can hang out together, the guys can hang out together, and the birds can hang out together. And I love how this park is actually built to hang bird cages on.
Yes, this is only bird garden in Hong Kong.
This is the only one of its kind in Hong Kong. Wow. How old is this hobby?
Like 500, 800 years.
At the Yuan Po Bird Garden, you can get all your birding accessories, cages, feeders, essential nutrients. For many of these men, caring for birds is a lifelong passion.
我姓劉嘅，因為姓阿劉咧，劉布，但係玩雀咧就係一種嗜好，玩咗60幾年嘅啦。
Jason, what is more important to Mr. Lau? The look of the bird, the beauty of the bird, or the sound of the bird?
雀咧，佢家啲雀咧有起有落嘅，起嘅時候咧聽把聲。
Okay, you know, Mr. can tell the bird where he's happy, a lot happy. You can tell from his face and also from his singing.
So the look of the bird is most important.
You know, okay.
Because it's the health.
Yeah.
It's not long before Mr. Lau is showing us pictures of not birds or grandchildren, but his cage collection. Over 30 strong, with artistic detailing, all are considered exquisite antiques. Even the porcelain bowls used as feeders are a point of collector's pride.
I love the porcelain cups. They're beautiful.
我仲有啲明朝嘅，加呢啲係清朝嘅。
Even though he got the collection from Ming Dynasty instead of Qing Dynasty. 300-400 years.
I don't know my dynasties here in China,
That
sorry.
means it's like 400, 500 years.
400
Starting
years
from
old.
like 100 to 400 years.
Wow. But does his wife share the same passion for birds?
你太太係咪都唔中意
Mr.
雀仔？
唔係。
Oh no.
When I'm in a destination for more than 3 or 4 days, one thing I really love to do in order to slow my travels down is to create a ritual. I like to find what's going to be my place, and I'm going to return to it often. And people think I'm crazy for doing this because, like, oh my gosh, we've got to go to different places every single meal, and every meal's got to change our life, right? And I just don't believe in that. So I always find the place that I'm going to begin my day at, have breakfast.
This is Shui Hua. It's what's called a tea restaurant here in Hong Kong. And with many locations around the city, it is the opposite of one of a kind. And yet, it's a reliable local spot with little wait where one can enjoy a good meal.
What you see here is Hong Kong on a plate. Literally the history of Hong Kong. So we've got some beef noodles for breakfast, but with the beef noodles come scrambled eggs and a nice buttered roll, and of course, a cup of tea. And I love that. Travel requires like incessant thinking, right? What am I gonna do today? How am I gonna get there? Is it gonna rain? Do I need to bring sunscreen? Do I leave in 3 days? Did my upgrades come through? And like, I just want my brain to stop. And the way that I do that is I return to a place that's familiar, and it gives me comfort, and then I just relax. And I get to eat noodles with a fork.
Another ancient Chinese tradition very much alive in Hong Kong is feng shui.
I'm Kirby Craig. I'm an advisor and consultant for businesses and residential in accordance to Feng Shui Principle, which is natural science.
So Kirby, right now we're in central Hong Kong, surrounded by some of the most important businesses in the world.
Right.
So that building right there has been built with the principles of feng shui?
Yes, definitely.
How?
Well, they picked the right spot, like I say. When the flow energy flow down, it actually flow down to the spot. So they have their own setting on how to harness the energy to bring the energy up to the buildings, okay?
So you're saying that the architect had a feng shui master to plan the position of the building?
Yeah, they openly admitted this, okay? If you look at the underground,
Yes.
it's blank, okay?
There's
This is
space
how-
under it.
Right, this is how they attract the 5 dragon energy,
The 5 dragon energy, what is that?
the 5 mountains of Hong Kong.
Oh, and they're all dragons.
We call it dragons.
Don't fly around.
They don't fly around, they just produce the energy for the spot.
Okay, so it's got a lot of stuff.
Right.
Does that have to do with the principles of feng shui?
That's for aesthetic reason only. Not everything is related to feng shui.
And yet, you'd be amazed when it is, like a building covered in a cage to protect it from the bad energy of another building that is shaped like a knife, or simple doorways that are angled away from the unkind energy created by zooming traffic.
Where's the bad energy coming
Bad energy
from?
coming down from the drastic flow of energy. You see the road here emerge.
And there's a decline too.
Right, decline, the energy is rushed and disturbed.
What does feng shui mean? Literally, what is the translation?
Well, the word feng shui means wind and water.
Wind and water.
Wind and water.
Okay. Is it a principle? Is it a philosophy? Is it a religion?
Well, it is everything put into one. Okay. Put it this way, we try to aim a spot, a place that lives harmoniously with the nature.
Kirby had given me an entirely different way to get to know and understand Hong Kong, and harmonizing with nature turned out to not be difficult at all.
SK, it is amazing to me that we are just an hour outside of Hong Kong. I mean, I feel like I was, we traveled 5 days to reach this point. That's what I'm going to tell my friends.
The good thing is you don't see any sort of the man-made structure. Looking at all the 180 degrees, you only see greens and the natural woods. I'm SK Shum.
I'm Galia Shum.
And I'm the founder of Hong Kong Hiking Meetup. And I would say the Hong Kong largest hiking group.
Are all your trails accessible by public transportation?
Yeah, 90% will be, yeah, very much.
That is amazing. That is so unique. I mean, that just doesn't exist anywhere else.
Hong Kong has over 100 trails to discover, and the Hong Kong Meetup has over 1,800 hikes every year. All trails are open to the public and easily accessible from downtown Hong Kong. When you're a traveler in a foreign country, most of the people you come in contact with are there to serve you. I took this hike to explore a different side of Hong Kong, but also to enjoy the locals in their downtime.
So SK, when did you found this hiking group?
2005.
2005?
Yeah.
Well, that's a long time ago.
It's 13 years.
13 years, and how many people are part of it?
When you were started?
Yeah.
4 people.
Four people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we are closing in the 22,000.
22,000 people?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I didn't create it intentionally.
Okay.
The group grew organically so that the people start referring friends. And, social media helps a great deal.
And that's how I found out about you. I'm always asked, how do you meet other people when you go to these places? This to me seemed like a perfect way.
Perfect way.
Yeah, to meet people.
And it's a perfect way for do matching too. We do have a lot of relationship come out the hiking activities.
Is that right?
Yes,
Is it hard to be a Hong Konger and meet other people?
Hard for me.
Hard for you,
I
okay.
haven't had a chance yet.
Well,
Her standard is too high.
Her standards are too high. My gosh. Do you think most Hong Kongers know that they have this access to their city?
One of my joys is taking people who've been born in Hong Kong, raised in Hong Kong, out on hikes like this, and they go, wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, right.
Really,
right.
and they're just astounded that in their own backyard was this incredible countryside, which is about 40% of Hong Kong is our countryside. They're just amazed.
Like every metropolitans in the world, the living pace is always fast and people are workaholic, but to strive for balance of life is so nice. We have this space, this green, and all this great nature where we can share and we enjoy the fellowship together with people and with nature.
I love my friends, my neighbors in this area. Everyone is very friendly. We know each other, and we also know their parents, their kids. Yeah, I think this strong relationship represents the old Hong Kong. Yeah, although we are very busy, but we care each other.
Hong Kong has the greatest energy. It's a place that is really buzzing. I think, if you're interested in nightlife, food and fashion and shopping, all this sort of exciting stuff, you must come to Hong Kong.
When a city still amazes, whether it's your first time there or your 10th. When its dragon energy encourages you to explore its busy streets as well as its unknown paths. When the people are happy to help you enjoy the mystery and subtlety of a massive metropolis. That is when we share a love of travel, and that's why Hong Kong, China is a place to love.